Talia Pura is a Santa Fe-based stage and film writer, actor, director, designer, and producer. In other words, she doesn't have any time, and she's still here.
Settle on one.
Yeah, her plays, films, aerial dance performances have all been seen around the world. She's published numerous plays, drama, teaching resource books, a picture book, and 2 books of monologues for actors. Prior to relocating to Santa Fe in 2016, Talia taught theater and creative drama for the University of Winnipeg. She also shared her brand of devised theater and workshops nationally and internationally. And now she's going to play games with us.
So, what to say? I feel that Jody and I really nailed what this workshop was about several hours after the notice had been released.
Yes.
So, I look back at what was released. Come on in.
Welcome.
And so I will talk to you first about what that says, and therefore what your expectations for this evening may well be, and whether we can expand that a little bit, or if we should really stick to that. So I believe that the description said that I was going to explain, and there might have been the word demonstrate or experience or something in there that would suggest that you're not sitting on the bus the whole time. See, I thought people may have been that I was going to explain how theater games have a role to play, no pun intended, in the development of characters and the development of plays. That's basically what we put out there. What Jody and I explored after it went out is how it should be completely interactive and we should all be doing the games the whole time. So now you can tell me your comfort level.
I'm used to it.
I know you're fine. I know you're fine. You all want to do stuff? It doesn't mean I'll run you ragged. I won't make you sweat. And there are always modifications to be done. A lot of it will be an exercise where I just give you something and you're in a partnership. And if you make the decision that you could damn well do this sitting down, feel free to grab a chair. But I will never, almost never, unless the chair is required in the scene or exercise, I won't actually tell you to sit down. And some of it, we would need to be all together. But accommodations are always made, we're always inclusive. And so we all play with everybody. So just to make my life easier, I'm gonna see, and assuming nobody else is arriving, I'm gonna just see whether we have an even number. It's always easier. 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to observe. You may regret that decision. You may well want to join us. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yay! You will be playing. Only as much as you want to. Only as much as you're comfortable for it. Okay. So first of all, theater games. What are theater games? Why do we need theater games? Who invented theater games? Maybe somebody wants to throw out the answer before I give it to you. Who is known as the mother, if you will, of theater games? Anyone? Her name is Viola Spolin. And when this notice for this workshop went out, I hadn't even opened it yet before I got an email from Benny reminding me that he was there in the beginning and that he knew Viola Spolin's son. And they had a theater company that was based on theater games. I already knew that because I interviewed him for my radio show, Coffee and Culture, little plug. I do a Coffee and Culture radio show for Hutton Radio, which airs at least once a month on a Saturday at 2, and again, the same show repeats Sunday at 2 o'clock. So I've interviewed lots of people in the theater community in town for that. It's my duty to get the word of theater out, just as it is the mandate of TLC. So we all work for that goal, get bums in seats, yes? And get people knowing who's making theater in town and why it's important for them to be there. Speaking of which, this afternoon I interviewed Emily Rankin, the director of Driving Girls, and as you know, the artistic director of New Mexico Actors Lab, and it's going to be a fabulous show. And so I encourage you all to go. And so Benny reminded me that he was there, and I knew that because I'd interviewed him for my show at one point. But yes, if you want to know more about the history of theater games, talk to Benny. I'm going to go on from there very, very quickly. Viola Spolin published a book of theater games, specifically, and how to use them with youth, with adults, in theater groups, with classrooms, with everybody, basically. And this would have been, I think, Benny would know better the exact year. I think it was the 60s. So by the time I got my theater degree in acting, directing, and design, and then went on and had a newly minted education degree in teaching drama, I had Viola Spolin's book in my hand, and this was going to be my Bible for the teaching of creative drama. I did one exercise out of that book, and it flopped so badly that I kind of put it aside and started finding my own things. But this is, of course, pre-internet, pre-ease of finding everything you want at your fingertips. So honestly, I don't remember where I got all of my theater games from. I know I worked for a time with an improv group called Loose Moose Theater Company, which was fabulous, out of Calgary, and a million others. I'm one of these people that takes every workshop available, always takes notes, and always remembers everything I was told, and uses it, and exploits it, and expands on it, and steals it, for a better term. So, the things that I've got now, I did, after teaching in high school for about a dozen years as a drama teacher, and using theater games as the basis of my program, because there are two very different ways of approaching theater, which you already know, you just might not know that you know it. So, theater, the way that I would teach it, the way that I would define it, theater is the production of something, probably for an audience, even a limited audience. That's theater. You make theater, you might make it up yourself, you might have a scripted work, but you're presenting, you're preparing something for presentation. Creative drama is the development of oneself, which may or may not one day lead to theater creation, but it doesn't have to. Creative drama can be its own thing all on its own. And theater games are very solidly in that category of creative drama. So for example, when I taught creative drama, when I taught drama, because administrators don't know the difference between theater and drama, so they just call it drama. So when I taught drama, there was progression where 10th grade was almost exclusively creative drama and theater games leading into improv, leading into a lot of group projects, which may or may not have a small audience at the end. Grade 11 would have character development, still some theater games, but then they were more for warm-ups and creating classroom climate. You absolutely, in my mind, must use creative drama and theater games when you are teaching for the first month, because you want all of those kids to bond as a group, as a family. So you're using all these games that are interactive and make them work with each other without thinking about it, without planning it, without worrying about who their partner is at that moment. So grade 11 would have that, but it would also have a lot of character development, some games that helped and assisted in character development, and they would start getting into script work. Both two-handers, which is a play for two people, and maybe 3 or 4 people in some of the scripts, and a lot of monologues, solo pieces. So that some of them would be scripted, some of them they would make up, some of them were devised theater. In my intro, you heard that I like my own brand. I've developed this brand of devised theater, which I presented all over the place. And it's a way of, again, it's sort of based on theater games in the beginning, and then it develops into something for presentation, but it's 100% devised by the participants. And at the end of 3 days, they have something that is truly worth watching. And it will probably involve a lot of movement, it will involve some improvisation, it may involve song and dance, it will involve any talent that anybody in the group brings to it.
What was the name of the class, the title?
The title of the class, just creative drama. The book that I wrote came out of my next experience. After about a dozen years in high school, I got more education and another theater degree and went to university and taught pre-service teachers. So then I had classes Oh, let's see, I had like 6 classes a semester that were about 35 students in each class, and we did creative drama. And I taught them how to develop classroom climate. This was for elementary teachers. And I also had 6 credit courses that were on theater, how to teach theater at the high school level and how to produce theater at the high school level. And I did that for another 20 years. And it was right in the beginning of that career that students who took notes when we finished doing something, somebody said, why don't you just put it in a book? Not a bad idea. So I got a book published called Stages, Creative Ideas for Teaching Drama. And then a few years later, I did another book, which was an expansion of that, so it was 2nd edition of that book, and a follow-up book called Cues, Theater Ideas from Classroom to Stage, or something like that. You can find them on Amazon. And I meant to bring them just to show you, just to prove that they existed. I knew exactly which box they were sitting in my new studio, and I couldn't find them. So, they're not here. So, all of that to say that these things exist, and in the description it said what happens behind the scenes and how actors use it. Well, it depends on the director. You could easily, as a professional actor, go through the rehearsal period and run a play without ever doing a single theater game. And then you will encounter another director who loves them and will use them to develop that community within the cast, and will use them as warm-ups every night during production, and will use them as problem solving. I have a whole chapter in my 2nd book on how to use theater games when you get stuck in rehearsal. The actors are not connecting, the actors are having difficulty with whatever. There's always a theater game that can solve it, and if there isn't, you make one up. So theater games can be continued to be useful, but by the time you're working with professional actors, you encounter less of that, and you just need less of that because they have theater degrees where they did all that. So now you're going to do all that. So stand up if you can, and you'll do it sitting down if you feel you cannot this evening, for whatever reasons that you need not explain to me or anyone else. That's totally up to you. Okay, so we're just going to do an absolutely classic, typical example of a warm-up game that you would do in the beginning of any old drama class, of creative drama, or that you might do at the beginning of a rehearsal just to all get in sync and to loosen up. And as all directors say, leave your worries at the door. When you come into this space, you are releasing all of that and just focusing on the group and what the group is creating. So let's start with that by just shaking it out. And you can move your feet too if you like. And let's get our voices a little bit warmed up with And now reach up with one arm as high as you can, and reach up with the other arm, and find your own little vocalization for everything you do. All right, before we start having an orgy here, an orgy is coming, so let's just take this down and shake it up down here. Bend over. Don't tighten your knees unless you're, in shape to do that. You can leave your knees nice and loose and a little bit flexible so that your shoulders can also shake it out. Still shake. And just And now, as you're hanging here, I want you to separate every little segment of your skeletal structure. First, your knees rest over your legs, but they don't have to be straightened. And now you're going to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, and your hips are going to fall into place. Then every vertebrae at a time, one at a time, is going to fall into place on your back, finally your shoulders, and lastly your head rises. And drop your head to one side, and drop it forward, and drop it side, and no, we don't go to the back. I used to, as a jazz dancer, that's why I have neck problems now. We didn't understand that your neck does not want to do a full rotation. It can, however, go to the back with your mouth open to release the jaw so you won't tighten up, and then go back the way you came, and that's okay. And back slightly to the other side, but not too far, and back where you came. And then I had a fun little exercise that I got from Qigong. Qigong is one of the Asian martial arts that is a whole mind-body connection and it can lead into an actual martial art, but this doesn't. This is a breathing exercise. So what you do is, I'll just demonstrate it once. You drop down and gather all the energy of the serpents that live in the ground and bring them up, introduce them to the dragons of the sky, and exhale to the dragons and release the energy as a tiger. So we start here, we gather energy, inhale with the snakes, the serpents. Inhale. Exhale to the dragons. Hello to the dragons. Now, big inhale on your way down. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Does it feel more powerful already? There's one more little exercise I like to do. Turn to the person beside you and say, you are my partner. Either way. You are my partner. Just work it out. Work it out. Okay. Now, one of you is going to do very much what we just did, which is just inhale and exhale down. Now, the other one, and since this is going to be challenging, I'm going to have you as a demo so you get to actually do it. So, you're going to do the inhale, exhale down. Ask your partner if they're okay with you touching their back.
Okay.
Okay, he's okay with you touching their back?
Sure.
Okay, so inhale, exhale, and drop down. And on his way up one vertebrae at a time, as he says, I'm going to do a little massage. This is called tapotainment, where remember, flat hand abuse, cupped hand massage. So you're going to cup your hand, avoiding the spine, no bone on bone here. You're going to pat, 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 just firmly enough for him to hear it. As he comes up, one vertebrae at a time is going up, 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 up. And when he gets back to vertical, this is a very important part. Whoosh. Whoosh. It feels really, really good. It feels great, right?
What did you do again with the bush?
Okay, do it this way. Facing that way.
I get it again.
You get one more. So inhale, exhale down, and come on back up. With
Johnny,
come on up. I know he's enjoying it, so take it. Up, make lots of noise, yeah?
He doesn't want it.
And whoosh.
whoosh.
Whoosh. Discuss the comfort level between you. You need to know if this isn't okay. Don't put it on.
Not you.
And then take turns.
I'll pat her if she wants. Okay, so we won't.
She's got a lot of issues.
Do it with a partner.
Okay.
Your back.
Okay. So do you want me to?
I just like what she was doing, and I like that kind of dragon.
Yes. Train.
Unless you want to train.
Sides.
Okay.
Whoosh. And the whoosh. Let them feel it. Whoosh right down the back.
Sure. Let me go down. Go down.
Okay. Should feel nice and loose and relaxed, ready to go.
So it's, okay.
Whoosh, whoosh. Okay. Okay, there we go. Feeling nice and loose. Another game that I like to play in the beginning of a new group, and you guys know each other already, even though I don't know you. I have so many games in my head I could keep you going for 10 hours a day for a month. But we're not going to have that time. We've got 40 minutes left, so we're going to move right into something I call Atom 2. Atoms, A-T-O-M, little molecular structures that fit together. I know nothing about science. But let's play Adam 2, where I'm gonna say the word Adam and give you a number, and then you must make a molecular structure of that number with another person. So if I say Adam 2, you grab somebody else's arm. And if I say Adam 3, you're gonna have to find 2 other people. Adam 5, you're a group of 5. Adam 1, you're a solo little molecular structure wandering around the room minding your own business. Ready to go? Okay, Adam 1. Mingle, mingle, mingle. Mingle, mingle, mingle. Adam 2. Okay, this is your partner for the next exercise. Okay. Now, you can draw hands and simply follow my instructions. Stand back to back. Stand side to side. Stand toe to toe. Stand shoulder to shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder. That means one person's shoulders touching the other person's shoulder. Back to back. Back to side. Elbow to elbow. Hand to hand. Foot to foot. Back to back. Knee to foot. One knee, one foot.
How do we do this?
You just did it, okay.
Good job. Okay, and relax. Okay, so we're going to start. Just face your partner. And we're going to play, and you can do this in 3. Hey,
Yeah,
you
okay,
can do
good.
this in 3. You can do this all together.
Right here, you can see us.
And raise your hand if you're A. A, I'm going to give you a word, and we're simply going to play word association. So I'm going to give A the first word, which you're going to say aloud to your partner, and your partner is going to simply respond with the very first word that comes to mind when you hear the word that you were just given.
The word.
And then the third person, in this case, or in your case, it's just back and forth and back and forth, the other person is going to respond to that word, and so on and so on. So, A, your first word that you will give to your partner is tree. Say it, go. Tree. Okay, we'll follow the exercise, and everybody just shout out what was the last word said. Maybe, cat, bird, sandpaper, tomatoes. What was your last word?
Our last word was rope.
Road, rope.
Desire.
You see how this can develop in so many different ways. And we'll do an exercise that needs to have a circle. This one is simply called zip, zap, boing. Like a sprint. Zip, zap, boing. Now, zip goes to your right, and you may indicate your right with your right hand going to the person beside you. Zip, so obviously zap is to your left. Boing is going somewhere else in the circle. It doesn't have to be right across from the circle. It's just somewhere else in the circle. The reason that I would play this game is to develop cohesiveness within the group, so that you have to listen, you have to pay attention, you have to watch, because you have to catch on as to whether you've been pointed at. Okay.
We're gonna play this one.
We're gonna play this. Are you gonna play as a team
We're just
together?
one.
You are one.
Yeah,
I like
one,
it.
so this
Say one.
could be your partner, I'm not sure.
One. All right.
Right.
Okay, so I will start by saying, no, let's just practice a little bit. Everybody say zip.
Zip.
Zap.
Boing.
Yeah, somewhere anywhere across the circle. Boing, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's how it's gonna go. So I'm gonna start the game, and whoever I pass my first thing to has to respond with either zip, zap, or boing, and we're all paying attention, so we're gonna try to keep this going as quickly and smoothly as we
Do
can.
they pick it up then after you? But you don't have to say on 3.
Zip.
Zip.
Boing.
Zap.
Zip.
Boing.
What the boing?
Zip.
Zip.
Boing, boing. Zap.
Zap.
That's easy.
Zip. Now you have to go to somebody. Zip. Zip.
Boing.
Boing. Zip.
Zip.
Boing.
Boing. Boing.
Okay, we're gonna start with, we're gonna play a faster, easier version. We are only gonna do boing.
Okay,
It's just boing.
okay, that's good.
You don't have to write it.
Okay, go ahead and begin. It's only boing.
I'm pointing you just boing somebody else, so use both your hands. You get some exercise.
Boing.
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 Boing. Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Boing. Boing.
Boing.
Boing. Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Boing. Boing. Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Boing.
Okay, that was a good one because it allows me to, we've gone to, it's sort of remedial, but on the other hand, you'll see that it's also more interactive
Yeah.
and faster and more focused. So in fact, it's another exercise and it's a good one to do just before going on stage so the cast is just on, right? And listening and watching each other and ready to go and energized. So it has a purpose in that way too. And naturally, all theater games can be competitive. I could make you sit down if you were slower or did it all right. Let's do one more like that before we move on. This one is counting. This is kind of the ultimate listen game. Listen and intuit, because there are no rules, but we're gonna try to count to 20, 10, maybe 10. Without assigning numbers, and I'm sure you've got sun in your eyes. I don't know if we can do anything about that.
That's all right, I'll just tap it over here.
In fact, we can all sit on this one, because I'll bet you the sun is gone, and it's time to sit anyway. So in this case, we are simply sitting meditatively, and we want to be sort of close, so do maybe come in as close as you can. Because all we're doing here is waiting for the right moment to jump in with the next number. But nobody's told us which is our number. There are no assignments here. We are simply going to feel the right time to verbalize the next number. And if two people, or more than two people, say the same number at the same time, we have to start at 1. We have to go back to 1. So, are you ready? So we just sit until somebody feels inspired to say 1.
1,
2. 3.
Start at 1. Somebody else immediately starts at 1.
2.
3, 4,
1,
2.
2,
3,
4.
5. 6.
Start at 1,
1,
2,
3.
start again.
1,
Start again.
2.
5,
1,
2,
1,
2,
3, 1,
2,
3, 4.
1.
3,
4. 5.
6.
7,
8.
9.
10.
We stand up and we do something else. So walk across the circle and choose a partner.
Be my partner.
Okay.
All right.
Don't you know?
Be my partner.
Everybody's got a partner?
Yeah.
We're going to carry on a little bit with the beginnings of improvisation. And the assignment is, first of all, pick an A and B.
What?
Pick an A and a B. One of these is A.
Okay.
Okay. And A, the only word you can say say is yes. That's your only word, that's your script. B, your only word is no. Okay? So take a couple of steps away from each other. See if you have room for that. Yeah, we have some. Get as far apart as you can in this space without banging into somebody else. And here's the scenario. You know each other, but you haven't seen each other in quite a long time. So you're old friends that just kind of almost lost touch. And so you know the word you've got. You've got A has got yes, and B has got no, and that's the only words you can say. But you meet each other on the street, and you're really happy to see each other. And then in the periphery, I would like you to listen to instructions, because I'm going to change it up on you in development. Okay? So keep saying only yes or only no, but you know you're going to have to make it mean whatever it is that's you're standing in for a huge sentence of whatever you'd like to say to this person that you've missed and I've lost and now I've found. Okay? And go. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you remember that B borrowed money and you pay it, and that's the reason you haven't seen no.
Yes.
I said yes. The person saying yes, carry on, but you remember that no borrowed money from you and never paid it back. That's why you haven't seen that.
You borrowed money from me.
So it's no.
Yes. Oh, yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Find a way to end to the scene.
What?
Keep going, but find a way to end, find a way to part. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Some lovely work there. So what this is demonstrating, and there's a million different games one could play that are demonstrating and working on intent. Because intent is the subtext of a script. Intent is the objective of the character, what they want in the scene. Intent is what stands behind the words you're actually given to say. The words that you're given to say in the script may or may not be what's in your mind. It's the substitute for your thoughts. So just saying yes or just saying no is kind of a standard for that. Now it's the alphabet. Now, anybody who feels like it in your partnership says A, and the next person, or the same person, says B, and the next person or the same person says C, and feels so strongly about C that they say it 5 times, or whisper it, or whatever. Let the alphabet develop. You can repeat the letters as often as you feel like it. Change your mood, change your intent. Wherever you start doesn't have to be, you don't have to think right now, oh, I know what I'm going to do and follow it through. You can just let it develop. And then after it's done, you can tell each other what you think was going on. Okay?
Wait, are we going
Just, you're going in sequence and the scene ends at Z, but you can repeat letters. You can even go back a letter or two if you feel like it wasn't dealt with properly. Whatever you want to do. But you're eventually making your way through the alphabet.
And we're going back and forth?
You're going back and forth. It's a conversation.
Okay, so do you have a scenario?
But I'll stay on the side.
Do you have a scenario?
No,
I'll stay right here.
no. The scenario was set develops as it develops. Okay?
All right.
Got it? And
Said she's
go.
going to join us.
Okay.
A.
B.
D. E. E.
In the beginning of improv, I never ever let people improv for each other. That's a more advanced thing. But if you want to go to an improv school, before you know it, you'll be performing for each other for sure. So, that's rule number 1. You basically, you don't say no, you accept the reality that's given. Rule number 2 is go with your first idea. It's so easy in improv to second guess. You're about to say something and then your brain says, oh, that's really dumb. Or, oh, she won't know what to do with that. Or, there must be something better. So you go with your first idea. And of course, there's a game that goes along with that rule. So pick a new partner.
All right.
Okay.
What did you?
Oh, hi, you.
Okay, just like right here.
Okay,
Is that okay?
so with your
Okay.
new partner, you're going to take turns giving each other gifts. You can give it an occasion if you want to. Happy bar mitzvah, or happy birthday, or Merry Christmas, or anything you want it to be. And you name the holiday as you're giving a gift. But I want you to practice very bad pantomime. What's pantomime? Story without words, reenacting, creating objects in thin air, right? So we didn't do any pantomime exercises so far in this class. Don't need to, because this is bad pantomime, because I actually don't want you to be indicating what the size and shape of this gift is at all, because it's completely on your partner to decide what the gift is. So you can even just point to it in front of you. No good mime saying, here, I got this. It's really heavy. None of that, right? You're simply indicating there's a gift for your partner. Your partner is going to open that gift and decide on the spot, it's a bag, it's a box, it's got wrapping paper, it doesn't have wrapping paper, I need a knife, whatever. Get the gift open, reach inside, and pick up an object. Don't even try to think about it. Keep dialogue going, keep talking about it so you don't even have time to think, oh, this is really tough thing, whatever. Like just keep going until you've gotten your hands inside the bag or box, and then pick up something and respond to it. And thank the other person for it. Use it in some way, respond to it together. Okay? So, person giving the gift, you're determining the occasion, but you're not determining what it is you've given them. Person opening the present, it's your job to open a present and react to what you find.